So we've seen a nice pump on Cardano ADA to the upside, where we ended up getting rejected at the 200 DMA, which then led to this move to the downside, where we then saw another test towards that 50 EMA, and we got rejected. And here we are now trading at 63.52 cents during the time of recording. And it's possible that the fourth wave is complete, and we are now within the fifth wave, where that fifth wave would then tap into this region here. In fact, this region will be slightly adjusted given the fact that we're seeing high highs within that fourth wave. And so very quickly, if I use the fib tool, what you can see is ADA has the potential to reach anywhere between 58.72 cents to 60.31 cents. So if I adjust this, we have the potential to tap into this region here. And one thing that is on the back of my mind is if whether or not the fourth wave is complete, or there is still a final push to the upside to complete that fourth wave. And reason being is if I go on the 5-minute chart, what you can see is within this move to the downside, it looks like what we had forming was a WXY structure. So if I use the fib tool, and what you can see is we ended up reaching the 1 to 1.236 retracement level to complete that Y wave, whereas we never reached the 1.618 retracement level, which is slightly deeper. And so it's possible that we are within a fourth wave still, where we have a WXY structure that's forming, with this being a W wave, this being an X wave, followed by a final push to the upside to complete the Y wave. And in order for this to be the case, then what we need is for the fourth wave to not cross this level at 67.56 cents. And reason being is because the fourth wave cannot cross the wave 1 or the wave 2 origin. And so if it does, then that means that this structure is invalid, and instead what we are forming is a bigger WXY structure. So if I go back to the hourly chart, you can see that on Smart Money Concept it is indicating that we have a weak low. And so again, it's possible that the fourth wave is complete, and then we see that move to the downside, where we then tap into this region. And so for this scenario to play out, what we need is for the fifth wave to be made up of 5 waves. And reason being is because the wave 1 and the wave 3 is made up of 5 waves. And so again, the fifth wave would also need to be made up of 5 waves as opposed to a WXY structure. So if I go back to the 5-minute chart, for this scenario to play out, then what we need is for a deeper move to the downside, where we then retrace towards the 1.618 retracement level. And if that's the case, then that would then mean that the WXY structure would be invalid, and instead that fourth wave would have topped off at around 65.76 cents. Now, if I go on the hourly chart, what you can see is we are within oversold conditions, and so it will be interesting to see if the bulls can regain control of the market. And should that be the case, then the key levels to be keeping an eye out for would be the EMA levels, which during the time of recording sits at 64 cents to 65 cents if we round it up. And if I go on the 4-hour chart, what you can see is we are within the more or less neutral on the stochastic RSI, and so it's still possible that the bears continue to regain control of the market and drive the price of ADA down towards this region here. And should that be the case, then again that would then align with my analysis with regards to us being within a 5-wave move to the downside, and ADA would then potentially tap into this region here. And you can also see that we ended up getting rejected at the 50 EMA on the 4-hour chart, and Smart Money Concept is indicating that we have a weak low, and so it's looking likely that we see lower lows, and ADA will then potentially tap into this region here. And as far as the daily chart goes, we are still trading below both the 50 and the 200 DMA, and we're just below the neutral level on the stochastic RSI, and you can see that we are slowly starting to see that reversal. So it will be interesting to see if the bulls again regain control of the market and drive the price of ADA up towards the EMA levels at around 69 to 71 cents. If not, then I am looking out for a deeper move to the downside, where we then potentially tap into this region here. And Smart Money Concept is indicating that we have a strong low, and so it's possible that we don't even go deeper towards this range that I set out previously between 35 to 44 cents, which will be the ideal scenario. And then we can then potentially see that reversal to the upside, where we then break this local low at $1.17. And so yeah, that's just my update on Cardano ADA. Hopefully you found it useful, and if you did, then feel free to hit that like button, and if you're new, then feel free to subscribe. Take it easy, people. Peace.